One Location horror fans, listen up. Do you like films like Buried? Movies where we have to watch the protagonist struggle to survive while putting together the puzzle of how they ended up in this situation in the first place? Well, imagine waking up in the trunk of a car. In Australia, we call this the boot. And slowly remembering how you got there, and as these terrifying details begin to flood back, you realize you're alone and you can't move your legs. That's the premise for new Amazon original film Trunk Locked In. The German indie thriller is the story of Malia, who wakes up disorientated in the trunk of a car. With a lifeline in the form of a mobile phone and some evidence surrounding her, she wages a desperate battle of survival, both mentally and physically. Sia Martins, of course, carries the film as her role as Marlena. And logistically, you'd think a film with such strict parameters would be static cinematically, but the film keeps the audience on its toes with dynamic cinematography, lots of different angles, and some fun reveals. Martin's performance is solid, although Melina is not the most well-rounded character, but her terror and frustrations invoke genuine reactions. But perhaps the most realistic part of this film, and this is the part you're gonna love, is the special effects makeup regarding gore. I found this aspect to be extremely impressive, especially for an indie film. What I liked is they didn't stray away from showing anything they couldn't fully delve into in details. Everything looks very real, and they don't even cut around situations to only show you one or two aspects. They go fully in. I had my hands over my eyes during some of these parts. Very effective. And this carries through to all of the surprise visual reveals in this film. They didn't half-ass anything. If they were going to include it in the film, they went all out. For a film that didn't have to go all the way with its visuals and could have just had her static in one spot, I feel like this is where it excelled. Of course, the lead performance is one of the most important things in these kinds of one location horror movies or thrillers. We got that. We also got the great visuals, but the one thing we haven't touched on is the story. And did it deliver? Well, I'm sorry to say this is where the film will falter for some, because it's extremely predictable. And anyone who is a big fan of, or really who has seen multiple mystery thrillers, will be several steps ahead of the lead character and any big plot reveals. Films like this usually play off the lack of clues and context. We only have to see one corner of a room, or in this case, the trunk of a car. They're stuck in a confined space, so we're only given small amounts of hints in plain sight. In fact, the filmmakers have to actively add in these hints to the set dressing. And this is where I believe Trunk falters, because although it does attempt at evening the playing field for those who could be responsible for what is happening to our main character, it does a really poor job of making it a winding mystery. I was hoping there would be dramatic twists, and I would be completely wrong. But although there's some visual surprises during the film, it didn't provide any poetic or just plain satisfaction. And although we did have a great central performance and captivating visuals, without the triple threat of the mind game or really any type of mystery, I felt slightly let down, which gives me that nagging feeling and that thought in my brain, which I hate saying out loud, especially when you are rooting for a movie. Could this possibly have been better off as a short film? Although, because I like so many other aspects of this film, I do think that there is a place for this in your to watch list. Perhaps if you're looking for a thrilling escape from the Sunday scaries, but you're looking for something easy to watch with little puzzle solving skills required, this might be the ticket. It's a short runtime, it gives up a solid fight, and as an indie foreign film, it's a great way to expand your watch list. This film demands little from the audience, so if you're ready to switch off your inner detective and just go for a thrilling ride with some gnarly gore and dynamic cinematography, add The Trunk Locked In to watch list this weekend. It's streaming from the 26th on Amazon Prime. I'm going to give this one a personal score of 6 out of 10. For originality, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And for scare, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10, just for the gore. Again, this one's a little bit predictable for my liking, but I did enjoy the ride. If you do check out the trunk, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. I'm sure everyone else would appreciate them also. And if you haven't seen it yet, well, the cat's out of the bag. I recently did a video exposing myself and my bad taste in horror movies. Not the smartest thing to do when you review movies online, but check it out here. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye, friends.